Hey, welcome back to the gallery. Jared McMillan here. Today I'm going to share with you Christmas Meadows 2017. The reason why we call this Christmas Meadows 2017, obviously, the location is actually called Christmas Meadows. It's out in the Uinta Mountains, which is about 45, minutes east of us, the way the crow flies, up in the Uinta Mountains, kind of on the north slope. And I captured it back in 2017, so that's kind of the Christmas Meadows 2017, so the year it was captured. This is the location, so it's a big meadow on the north slope of the Uinta Mountains, and this is actually the Bear River that runs down into Evanston and throughout Wyoming. And this place is just, I spent a lot of time out here. It's super iconic location. It's not a great place to go and photograph for fall, just because there's not a lot of fall color. As you can see, most of the trees are evergreens. There's a couple of ribbons back here of aspen trees, but it's really, you can go and photograph this any time of year. It doesn't really matter, because I'm not really focused on color when I go out here. But what happened was we had I knew a storm was rolling in. It was, and I just kept watching the weather, and in the wintertime, they closed the roads back near Lake Highway to get back to these areas, so you basically can only get there via snowmobile in the wintertime. But what happened was they kept the roads open. We had like a 9-inch snow overnight, and I was like, man, I gotta go out there because I think this could be magical. And so I head out there with my truck. On the way back there, the snow was so heavy and so dense that what it did is it caused a bunch of aspen trees actually to break over the weight of the snow. Some of the aspen trees were, like 8, maybe 9 inches in diameter, and they had snapped, broke over the road. So what I did was I hooked up my truck, pulled them out of the way, and then that way it allowed me to basically get in. So I didn't want to drive over the trees with my truck and do some damage or something out in the middle of nowhere. So my goal was to get there at sunrise, but due to the road conditions and having to clear it basically, I didn't get there for sunrise, which I think actually was kind of a blessing because it worked out perfectly, to be totally honest. I pulled up, I ran out of the truck, got my camera set up, and what I look for when I'm photographing during the day or when the sun is already up in the sky, I look for what I call zebra light. And what zebra light is when you have highlights, say here in the middle part of the image, and then you go to some dark parts, which the clouds are creating shade, and then you go back to highlights, and then it kind of goes back and forth like that throughout a scene. And what that does is it helps create depth in the scene. And for me, the zebra light when you're shooting during the day is just complete magic. And this was honestly complete magic. So if you go there in the winter, you would never even know there's a river here because it's completely frozen over, tons of snow. So early season snowfall, it still leaves the river not frozen. Super calm day, which is just glass, makes the river just glass, and it creates this perfect reflection. And it's a cold photograph, but for some reason it doesn't really feel cold. It still feels warm. I don't know if that's because the river is not frozen yet. I'm not sure what it is, but I'm going to be honest with you. I've been making photographs for 25 years, and this is definitely one of the top 3 images I think that I've ever captured. This morning was just complete magic, and it really shows in the final photograph. It's a limited edition of 100. This is definitely a collector's favorite, where we've only got about 30 pieces left. So we're still offered several sizes in the gallery right now. We have it wrapped in one of our Italian moldings, but comes in several sizes. It's definitely going to sell out within the next probably years, my guess. So anyway, enjoy it. This is Christmas Meadows 2017. Super special piece to me. Took a lot of effort to get, and I think that once you come in and see it, you'll understand what I'm talking about. So enjoy.